Hello everyone, good Monday evening. It is February 3rd of 2020 and this is my first reveal of my board bracket. It is ESPN Joe Linardi MI Sports Bracketology. It is coming right up. And here I go. This is from the January 28th projection. This is when I posted just because the Super Bowl was last night and I also was out of town this weekend or whatever. So this is how I'm going to start it out. I think the winner of the Indiana-Stanford game, which it looks like I think the winner is going to be Indiana. They're going to play against Baylor because Baylor will not lose to Norfolk State or Robert Morris. But keep an eye on Robert Morris because they did beat Kentucky in the 2015 NCAA NIT. So keep in mind that if they're in the tournament, you got to watch out if you're playing against them because they will come to play after they beat Calipari in their squad then. So that's definitely a fun fact for you guys there. We got Colorado. I know a lot of people are liking the 12th seed Tulsa Golden Hurricane so far, but I'll just take the Buffaloes just because, so I avoid picking the 12th seed. And then I have an upset here. New Mexico State, who barely lost to Auburn last year, and Auburn made the Final Four eventually, but I have them upsetting the Butler Bulldogs. Butler has not been in a long time for the NCAA tournaments, and they haven't been in the national championship since 2011. They don't have Brad Stevens, and I think they have a very young lineup. It's going to take a lot of time for them to grow in the NCAA field. So I do have New Mexico State beating Butler. And LSU and Oklahoma, I will not take the 11th seed Oklahoma there. They don't have Trae Young. They don't have a Buddy Hield. And LSU, even without Tremont Waters, they will move on to the second round. And they will play Michigan State in the rematch of last year's Sweet 16, which wasn't much of a game. But if they rematch again this year, I see that definitely being a close game because the teams will know each other better. So I will have Michigan State in the Sweet 16. They will beat LSU. And I have New Mexico State in the Sweet 16 against Baylor. I have them beating Colorado. I just think this is their year. This is definitely New Mexico State's year. And I have them going to the 16, and Baylor will obviously beat them in the Elite 8, and their Cinderella run will come to an end. And then for the bottom side, the Marquette Golden Eagles, who are my second favorite team in college hoops, I have them beating Purdue, and I think they will beat Purdue, especially their 7th seed. That's a better matchup for them if they are. And then Louisville and South Dakota State. I have the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State upsetting Louisville. They've been close to beating some teams in the NCAA tournament, but that hasn't happened either. So I have two bold upsets so far in this tournament. I have them meeting up with the Golden Eagles, but Marcus Howard and Marquette will stop the South Dakota State Cinderella run there. And then Marquette will battle Michigan State, and then congratulations, Michigan State, because you will be going to your second Final Four in a row as a 3 seed, and they will definitely beat Marquette to go to the Elite 8, and they're far more matched than Baylor is, Michigan State is. I mean, Cassius Winston is a senior year. They have a really primary lineup. I was at the Michigan State-Wisconsin game Saturday, and they have a lot to improve on, but I think they're going to be very much ready in the March Madness coming up. Now in the East region, we have South Dakota State and Monmouth. That one's not going to be close. Monmouth's in Butler's former conference, but not Butler's, but Gonzaga's. But Monmouth definitely won't beat San Diego State, so we'll go with that. Arizona and St. Mary's, I put an A initial down as the Wildcats, so the Wildcats will be moving on. And then Creighton will beat Akron. Kentucky will beat North Texas. And then I have the Nittany Lions. I have the Nittany Lions beating East Tennessee State, which I obviously think so. And then I have Duke beating Colgate, which I know will happen. And then I have Texas Tech. I know I'm probably going to change it to Wisconsin after this week, but I think Texas Tech, since Chris Barrett's squad went to a national championship game there, I think he's really gonna get them at least a run at it. They're at least gonna try, even if they don't make it that far. And I think they have enough talent to beat the Badgers of Wisconsin. So we will vote for them there, and then I'll put us at a matchup with Texas Tech, number 10 against Seton Hall. And Seton Hall, I know they had that Delgado stud a few years ago, but I'm hearing a lot of good things about them. I heard last week that they're their potential national championship contenders. I gotta watch them to really see how that's done. But I've been hearing that on the news and whatever, so we'll really have to see you coming back if you think they're really that good, but I'm not thinking so right now. You got to compete with the Baylors, the Michigan States, the Kentuckys. I think they got a long way to go, but that's what people are saying, so I will go with that. And then Duke will knock off Lamar Stevens and Penn State. And then they will play Seton Hall. But I do have Seton Hall beating Duke. I can really say it again because Michigan State did knock them out. And I think Duke has an ability where they lose big games in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. And I obviously hope it happens. I can't stand Duke, so that would be awesome if Seton Hall beat them. Imagine if I predicted that and that one was right. That would be doing good in the bracket pools I'm in. And then the Kentucky Wildcats will meet off Seton Hall. But I have Seton Hall as a regional champion. And then Duke will be out of the Sweet 16. In the Sweet 16. I have the Jayhawks of Kansas. They will be playing Montana, which Michigan played Montana the last 2 years, but they're not gonna have a tough time against Bill Self Squad, especially that they're a 1 seed in this. I think they're gonna have a hard time there. And then I have Ohio State and Caleb Weston moving on against Arkansas, but their run will end. Their run will end when they play the Jayhawks. Iowa Hawkeyes are playing Yale. Yale has had a couple good tournament years, but I can't trust them to beat the Big Ten, and I'm really liking what the Big Ten's doing this year. So, Fran McCaffrey in Iowa, congratulations, because you are moving on, and you're going to be in this third round against the Nova Wildcats. And I think Jordan Bohannon's really going to get healthy. He's going to have a really good game, just like when he had that. He lit it up in that Sweet 16 game against the Volunteers, which screwed up a lot of brackets, folks. Tennessee was kind of favorites to win that national championship game last year. So if Iowa really gets on a roll, I think they're going to the Sweet 16. I think they will also knock off Kansas because they have the talent. I mean, they haven't made the Final Four, but it shows how much work they've done, and I think that'll happen. We had the Fighting Illini of Illinois playing Dayton. They're going to beat Northern Iowa, but Northern Iowa had a really crazy half-court shot a few years ago to win in the second round, and they ended up still making the Sweet 16 from that. So that was very crazy. But they'll beat them, and it's going to be pretty much a border battle because Iowa's not very far from Illinois. So that's going to be interesting if that happens. And then the Dayton Flyers will play Wright State, which is UWGB's conference representative. That won't happen. So we will take Dayton, and then Dayton will also eliminate Illinois. So down to this lineup before I hit the West region. Wichita State, I think, will beat BYU. Florida State, I think they will beat Murray State, and Murray State does not have John Morant, so I don't think that's gonna change there. Florida State will beat Dayton, and then Florida State, I think Iowa Cinderella run, serious Cinderella run, y'all, at the number 5 seed will end to the Florida State Seminoles, and the Florida State will be your Midwest regional champions in Indianapolis. That's gonna be a good site for it, by the way. The West region, the regional finals and semifinals are gonna be in Los Angeles at the Staples Center, so that's gonna be good. We got Gonzaga and Stetson. We'll take the Zags there. And then USC, I think USC will beat Michigan. And they last year I thought they would be the 11th seed to win. There were no 11 seeds that won the NCAA tournament, but I think they were the ones that could have gotten it done, but they didn't. But I think they will beat the Zags this year. And Michigan did beat Gonzaga on Thanksgiving weekend, so they would really have to lay an egg if they wanted to pull out an upset. So I will take the Trojans to go to the Sweet 16, and then I'll get Gonzaga out of there. And then Auburn will beat VCU or Memphis, and that's a very tough 12 game. So you gotta keep an eye on that. And then Stephen F. Austin. How about Stephen F. Austin? They beat Duke, and I think they're gonna do it again, even though it's a Big Ten team. I think they will do it again against the Terps, and I think they will have a date with Auburn after that, but Auburn will end Stephen F. Austin's run like they made in the past in tournaments. So here is a continuous run at the West. Like I said, it's in Los Angeles. We have the Cougars against the winner of Minnesota and NC State, but I think Minnesota hasn't been in the tournament for a long time, and Tubby Smith had some really good teams, but they almost always got eliminated around the second or third round, and I think they will take it. Devin Davis is out from Houston. They nearly beat Michigan. As a Michigan fan, they looked really good that year when Michigan hit that Jordan Poole buzzer beater, but they really don't have Devin Davis, and they really don't have that much size. So we'll take another Big Ten representative. to win in the second round. And then Oregon will beat Winthrop, and then congratulations Oregon, because you will be in the Sweet 16. Florida has more premier talent. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights will be making their first tournament appearance since 1979, but I don't think they'll win an NCAA game this year. Not quite. Sorry, Rutgers fans, but you guys will be happy once you're in the tournament, no matter how far you go. And then West Virginia, under Bob Huggins, will beat UC Irvine. And then Oregon and West Virginia, but I think Oregon with Peyton Pritchard, such a beast. I think he's the true goal of college basketball right now. I think they will move on to Elite Eight with a Pac-12 versus Pac-12 matchup, and that they'll end USC Cinderella run. So I have the Ducks as your West Regional champion. And here's our Final Four. The Spartans of Michigan State, who are last year's representatives. Seton Hall, which are first representatives. Florida State, and then Oregon. They were in the 2017 Final Four until they lost to North Carolina in the final seconds of a very good Final Four that year. So then here is my reveal. The national championship. Michigan State will move on to the national championship for the first time since 2009. And they will beat Seton Hall. And then Oregon will move on to their first national championship in a long time as well. So it'll be Peyton Pritchard versus Cassius Winston. This would be it. This would just definitely be a historic national championship, just like Texas Tech and Virginia was last year. These teams are very evenly matched, but I think Oregon's going to give it a game until like 4 minutes left. They think Michigan State's going to be too much for them. So your national champions for the first time for the Big Ten since 2000, it will be your Michigan State Spartans. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and then see you guys tomorrow for another bracketology from Jerry Fallon. So just a different bracket next time, but it's going to be the same format I did it from tonight. So thanks, y'all, for watching, and the month is here. It's a month away from March Madness.